Anin bonjour. My name is Loretta Ross and I'm the Treaty Commissioner at the Treaty Relations Commission of Manitoba. As part of our education and history and understanding of treaties, we like to go and spend some time with our elders and ask them if they would share some of the history of the various territories that we find in what we know as and understand as Manitoba, or the different treaty areas in Manitoba. And today we're fortunate enough to be out at Riding Mountain and Clear Lake and have asked our elders, Elder Harry Bone and Elder Dennis Whitebird, to spend some time with us to share some of the history of these beautiful lands, what it was like before treaty, even during treaty, and how the history of these lands for their Anishinaabe people has changed over time. And it's a story that we want to capture and be able to share with many others. So we're very honored on behalf of the Commission that they have agreed to come and spend some time with us and do some sharing. So bonjour, thank you.
Miigwech bonjour. Dena maganak nijibatsik. Kizis and the panikas mikinak mijoenebik sagda kongo to be on the. My name is Harry Bone. I'm from Kisquenin First Nation, and we're here today to talk about the lake itself and the land. Riding Mountain National Park, what is now known in the Anishinaabe language is Nawakwe Ojio. Also, the Anishinaabe language for the lake is Washigamizariganing. So I think that it's important for our young people and for history to remember our first people. Anishinaabe people were gathered here for thousands of years before the Europeans arrived. In fact, this lake has been a very sacred lake for our people. The story, there's a story behind it. A long time ago, when they know that the Europeans are going to be arriving here during the fur trade, during the exploration, the treaty making process, our elders had a vision that this lake is going to be sacred. So as a result of that, their vision was also answered by the people to make a commitment to go into the water to turn to fish. So that's why this lake is very, very sacred to us. The fish that we get from the lake is for ceremonial. It's not commercial. So I think then sacredness then is very important, because this lake offers us a place to honor the Creator in the land and the water, to make sure that we're connected with that. If you ever sit by the lake and listen to the water as it the little wave that comes against the land, that sound of it, and the sound of the breeze and the trees tells you the natural world of our people. And it tells you the natural voices, the natural sounds. It gives us a sense of confidence that we came from upwards, where the stars are. Sometimes the animals also are reminded us, especially when you sit in the distance, they can hear alone, making that lonely cry to remind us that we are earth people. We're connected to the land. So for us, I think then we honor the land itself, but we also honor the animals that are here, and of course we honor the medicines that we have. That's why in our languages we call all animals, all plants as brothers and sisters, because of the relationship that the Creator's given to us. Because as we came here, along the way we've seen some plants, little plants coming out of the pavements of our roads. Just to say that this land offers air, offers oxygen beyond the lake. That's why that teachings of the trees tells us lots. Because if you look behind us, the trees that are behind us, they may look different on the surface, but below them they're actually very, very interrelated, because our roads are connected. And they connect that oxygen, they connected that air, they connected that very existence of their survival. So Mother Earth is the one that gives us all this for us to live by. So that's how this lake is important to us. This park is important to us. So I think but we say this land belongs to all our people, to Anishinaabe people. In fact, some of the people at Rolling River came originally from here at the time of treaty, but but our elders often told us that we're all related, especially my grandmother. We're all related. That relationship is important. It talks about the land. It talks about who we are as people. So that's why when we were bumped off here, when the national park was established in 1930, Then we had a fishing station, then what the white man called in their treaty process, just west from here, just down backwards where we are. It tells us, the northern, but the national park that time, then they said, no, we don't want no more Indian people around here. So they just burned us out. They chased us out from this west part of this lake. So I think, but in due time, then I often remind the government, whether it's the RCMP or the wardens, look, the law that you represent, you broke it for 70 years when you chased us out, from this our own land, our traditional land. So I think, we need to remind them, because they always tell us, that we break our own laws, we break, the government laws, but they themselves, are guilty for that, because that's why, we were able to succeed to get the land back, this land that we represent, the background of it, and also part of the lake. So for us, it's a very sacred place, because to this day, even the land claim was done, quite a few years ago, 20 or 30 years ago. We still just use this land for, to come in worship, to come in, just to get together as families. We don't have permanent structure there. We don't have business part of it, because we still believe in the natural environment, the natural air, the natural part of it, is the best medicine that we can have. So for us, as Dennis and I, come here, of course the Treaty Commissioner is with us, to make sure that this lake, gives us that sense of honor that the Creator has given to us through the water and through the air that we breathe, and also if you look upwards, and the sun is just directly above us. So it reminds us that the creation story, because our people tell us that we came from the stars, we came from upwards, and then we're going to go home upwards when our time is up. So I think, but our bodies go back to the land, to support, the plants and the animals and their vision of about their livelihood, about their existence as well. So I think, the Nawakwe Ojio is important, even though, it has different names. But, for us, that just simply means that because, we use this land as a place to worship, as a place to honor, as a place to connect to our Creator and to the land. So I'm going to turn it over to Dennis, then he'll explain a bit more, and we'll carry on from there.
Miigwech dinamar na duk jikendam genin ma gipadagus na nongum. Kung ganana kumawa semaga gime asto na magawa nongum. Pagustan moadas nijan snabek yo vinonjia genik ken moada ani neje Ese ganava jaga dego eza ganjagua kegame abitamang. Now come go in dego. Dan shana beo with tibine ziving donji. As a show na makwando them. So I want to acknowledge the tobacco that was shared with me, seeking, of course, some answers to how we interpret the lake and the land. So with that, I'm going to start from there, and I'm going to start right from the beginning of time. Our Creator placed us here on this land. And that is the story that my grandparents and great-grandparents, and including my parents, shared and believed. And while He placed us here, He gave us our own responsibilities, which we would define as Anishinaabe law. Where we go Anishinaabe among Minigoizewin. And the interpretation of Minigoizewin is very simple. And it means, as it is given to you. As it is given to you, it comes with a set of rules that you have to live by. And that's what Minigoizewin is. And as we heard from Elder Bone about the area of Clear Lake and the land that that it surrounded the lake. It's a spiritual waters of Clear Lake. And indeed the land as well is very rich in a spiritual way. When the treaty making process was beginning in the late 1800s, our leader in Rolling River, his name was Shawanigwanet, and he wanted to make sure that the treaty commissioners, he wanted to make sure that there was a corridor or a pipeline between the location of Rolling River, which is about 10-15 miles from here, to Clear Lake, and also to this territory. And even though he didn't get it, it was still believed to be our territory, because of the fact that we never gave up title to the land, first of all, and the belief that we have is that we borrow the land from our children, generations ahead of us, and we have to make sure that we look after the land so that they too will have share the bounty and benevolence of the land, and to be able to have sustainable lives in their future. And by the same token, with the lake and the waters as of course are spiritual waters, and the fish and all the living habitat that they call Clear Lake home is also a place that, in terms of the story that we have, is being looked after our people, perhaps our first generations of people. It's very important that this whole area is sacred. Our people have occupied this area, and even going into the treaty making process, we never gave up the water. We never gave up the water to the Crown. The treaty was only about land, and it wasn't giving up the land, but sharing the land. We only agreed to share the land up to the depth of a plow, and so that's really important. But the Crown took it upon themselves to insert other information in the agreements, the written portion of the agreements. And we have our own interpretation as Anishinaabe people. And our interpretation is in our own language, in Anishinaabe. So I think that's very important. And we certainly want to give those tools to our children. We want them to clearly understand that the relationship that exists to the land, to the water, and the new relationship with the Crown. So that's the importance.